Češi! Češi! Hop, Swiss! Babylon! Babylon! Češi! Čau!
We're training to give you the cool hockey helmet you all need. You all need to...
Do by to sluší, ty vole, jak vidíš. Hned si tě půjčím.
cauldron in Riga, Latvia on this Sunday night. It is Czechia 4-0-1 in the tournament. The only blemish, an overtime loss to the host Latvians. Taking on 5-0 Switzerland, which has outscored its competition 22-4 so far in the tournament, allowing just 2 even strength goals along the way. Switzerland 6-0-1 and kicked off the tournament last year. In addition, for the Czechs, Radim Zohorna, who was playing for Toronto in the American Hockey League. The season ended for them, so Zohorna has joined this Czech team that's running some injury problems. Robert Meyer gets the starting goal for Switzerland. He's 2-0 so far in the tournament. Shutout win over Norway and a victory over Slovakia. And Marek Langhammer makes his second start for Czechia, so all 3 of their goaltenders have made 2 starts.
I don't know who the starter is. I don't know who the guy's going to be going forward. Everyone's had a good crack at it. But I know Langhammer will be challenged tonight against Switzerland, who has looked like the most dangerous team in this group all tournament long.
The Czechs have dodged some bullets here, down 2-0 to Slovenia with 2 to go in the second. They came back to win that game. They scored the tying goal with 3 minutes left before it's overtime against Latvia. Here rocks that back, and Deaton Pukan with it. And this house is almost evenly divided. 16 buses came up from Czechia on Friday full of fans. 2 charter flights arrived from Switzerland the same day. And so Portly sends that back in front, and Nino Niederreiter just missed on that. Niederreiter scored Switzerland's first 4 games of the tournament.
And despite Switzerland having so much success, they've changed their top couple lines, trying to find the right balance. Hischier no longer playing with Fiala.
Radek plays that in. Fora goes back. The line's there with Chernak. Here's Kevin Fiala of the Los Angeles Kings. Plays it around to Michael Fora. Glove down by Jakob Fleck. So that's called at the Swiss blue line. And Fora was a feisty character. Gives Chernak a shot.
Establishing the ground rules of this game early. Czechia will look to play a slower tempo game. Puck along the boards. More structure. They don't want to trade chances going up and down the ice with Switzerland, because nobody in this tournament on this side has been able to do that yet.
Switzerland's game against Canada saw them trail for the first time in the tournament.
Briefly.
Last year they started 6-0-1, but then went to the quarterfinals and lost to the U.S. 3-0. Jeremy Swayman turned in a terrific goaltending performance for the United States. Mario Simeone plays that back. Here's Christian Markey with it. Romain Ruffel snaps that pass right wide. Simeone in for Gaetan Haas. Haas works in, and Kostelic takes it hard into the corner. Bouncing back with the Czech line, and offside call against the Swiss.
Swiss trying to build off last year's tournament, where they were fantastic for the round robin. They have never won a gold medal in the history of the country.
When Patrick Fisher was a player in the 90s, they were relegated twice.
They're a long way from that now.
They are a team that has gone from being a team that tried to avoid relegation to a team that dreamt of making the quarterfinals to a team that regularly makes the quarterfinals and now has gold medal aspirations and some top flight NHL players. Zohorna moves in. Lentz going to feed that back, and Jonas Siegenthaler got in the way of that. The puck goes up and out.
We're going to see our first look at big Radim Zohorna, who was just added to the lineup, playing with Lentz on the 4th line.
6'6", 230 pounds.
Cannot miss him. He is a giant. He looks like a condor out there. He takes up so much space. And for a guy that size, not a bad skater. Guaranteed Richard's going to get lower to the ice than him on this faceoff, though.
He was traded by Calgary to Toronto for Dryden Hunt this year. Spent most of the year in the American Hockey League. 10 games in the NHL and 12 goals in 51 games in the American League.
Like his teammate, he's got the Maple Leaf gloves on, not the Czechia gloves.
Riga, a late addition for Switzerland. Chips that down to Czech zone. Jakub Zaboral goes back, takes a hard bump there. Release Herzog. Tanner Richard gets thumped in the corner by Zahorna. That can't tickle. Dean Kukan back with it. Former Columbus Blue Jacket. Takes that return pass. Return to the Swiss League this year, played in Zurich. Kind of an upside down year in Swiss hockey. The big teams weren't great. Zurich, SC Bern. Best two teams are Biel and Geneva in the regular season. They met in the final, and Geneva won the Swiss League Championship for the first time in its history.
Apparently you don't want to not win in the Swiss League because half the coaches were let go this year.
Yeah, of the 14 teams in the Swiss National League, 6 made coaching changes. Kempney up for Trebek, that's broken up by Fiala. Busting with Malgin and Ambul. Fiala shoots. Langhammer got a shoulder on that. Another drive, this time from Moser. Steered away by the Czech netminder. He came on in relief last year in the bronze medal game and got the win for Czechia. Malgin shoots, that goes wide. Czechia trailed 3-1 after 1 in that bronze medal game. Made the goalie switch and won 8-4. Jakub Fleck. Poke check by Simeon. The bouncer puck knocked away by Dvorak. Lawful for Marty. For Miranda, who flips that down in the Czech zone. That medal by Czechia, their first in the World Championship in 9 years. They won a silver at the World Junior Championship this year, their first medal since 2005. In comes Fleck. Fleck walks in. He's got the goalie down, throws it back in front. Chernak missed another chance. Baranek turned away. That was the emergency swing for Robert Meyer.
He was trying to corral the speedy Jakub Fleck. He has been a very good forward. Gets behind Lawful now, rolling it all the way around, forces you to pass the puck. Karam's out to Baranek on the shot. Meyer, you're right, comes flying across desperately to take away the top part of the net and get the freeze. But Fleck has caused problems for every team he's played against with that speed and a willingness to blow the zone. He stretches things out all the time.
There's for Kometa Berto in the Czech Extra League. Spent his entire career in Czechia. Ria fires that wide of the goal, picked up now by Tanner Richard, plays it around for Herzog. Reese Herzog. For Tanner Richard, back for Herzog, walks right in. Poke check there by Michael Spacek. Spacek plays it back around to Zaboral. And the Czechs are away. Spacek. Up there for Tomasek. That passes at his feet. Corby. Out for Niederreiter. Enzo Corby works it and shoots at the deflected just wide.
2-on-5, and Corby almost banked one home.
Lentz. Flipped to the puck now. Almost Kudratov comes back the other way. Tries to chip that ahead. Kudratov, a defenseman for Trinets in the Czech Extra League. They won the title for the 4th straight time. Former NHL defenseman. Washington. Al Jordan sends that down. Lentz against the icing. Meyer played that away. And here's Malgin with it. Lawful. Big pass to Andres Ambul, flips that ahead of Jordan and sweeps that away from Malgin, and down goes Malgin. A big hit there by Jordan.
Malgin looked to initiate, but Jordan was braced and got the better of it.
Pass to center ice. Lentz has that knocked away. In comes Kostalik with it. He gets thumped down by Marty. This has been a physical first period. Dominic Kubalik plays it in, the tournament's leading point getter and goal scorer.
has been money on the power play. 5 power play goals.
It's one off the tournament record shared by 4 players. Meantime, Haas chips that in. Back is Dvorak to pick it up. Up to center ice, Kubalik. Slides that back ahead, broken up by Haas and sent back to center ice. Dvorak pumps it back down to the Swiss zone. That pass is picked up. Saboka, long shot goes high. Simeon.
Oh boy.
Throws it back a bunch. Cervenka scores! A gift for Roman Cervenka. And Czechia takes a 1-0 lead.
Just the kind of mistake that Switzerland has not made in this tournament. Simeon, who's been fantastic, gets this puck. He wants to walk to the middle, and he ends up trying to shovel that to Centeller, but it goes right past him, right into the wheelhouse of Cervenka, and Myers sitting there right on the goal line. He's not ready, prepared for that shot at all, and Cervenka tucks it inside the post to give Czech the lead.
Second straight game that Switzerland's allowed the game's first goal. Czechia comes in 2 points behind Switzerland for first place in the group.
There is a path for Czechia to still win this group. Win today, win in their last game against Canada, and they would have it in regulation.
Switzerland closed out against Latvia on Tuesday. Czechs have Canada. Earlier today, Slovenia beaten by Slovakia 1-0, so Slovenia will be relegated to Division 1A next year. Geiser goes it up ahead. Riyad shoots, that got through, and it's kicked away by Langhammer. A long drive bounced away. And a chance down for Baranek. Out with Fleck and Chernock. Marty came back to take that away. Niederreiter flips it across for Hischier, shoots, Langhammer save, and Jordan knocked the rebound away. Corby back for Loeffel. In for Enzo Corby. He tried to center it. It goes off the side of the goal. Hischier. The net is knocked off, and the faceoff will go outside as the Swiss took it off. 1-0. Czechia leads. Czechia with a 1-0 lead on Switzerland. These fans have been having a ball in Riga.
It seems that there's just more and more Swiss fans. They like to wear their red jerseys, red suits, red everything all around town. And I see more Czech flags draped over shoulders walking around as well.
Good guy tries to play that ahead. Schmeichel. Sends over spot check, and pass just out of his reach. And Andres Ambul plays that back. Ambul sets an IIHF record every time he steps on the ice for a game. The all-time leader in games played and tournaments played at the World Championship. Scored against Canada. This is 129th career game of the World Championship. Bojanilla trying to slide that ahead now. In comes Zahorna, along with Lentz, shoots, not deflected wide off the skate of Hischier. Bojanilla lines that back to Stalik, who loves to shoot. Gonna thread that back in front, he gathers it back up. On the side of the net takes a shot, kicked away by Meyer. Away comes Niederreiter. That pass rink wide to Simeone as he winds his way in. Taken down by Zahorna. Bojanilla. Got by Miranda. The penalty coming to Switzerland. Miranda's going to go for the trip. 10:42 to go in the opening period. The Czechs up 1 are going to the power play.
Miranda hauls down Bojanilla, who kicked out of their last game. So that's not a trip. But on the far side, the referee looked like he kind of chopped down on him, but he barely touched him in the thigh. Miranda shaking his head, nothing he can do about it. And so the Czechs go to the power play, where they've been good. 7 power play goals, 35%, and Cervenka is the quarterback. When he gets a puck on his stick, generally good things will happen. Kubalik, he's the shooter.
Right. 1 away for the tournament record for power play goals scored. Here he comes. Kubalik back to Kempny. For Sobotka. Sobotka for Cervenka. Kempny. Back down to Sobotka. Cervenka. Kempny. And Drew Kubalik out. Cervenka, by the way, a member of Czechia's 2010 gold medal winning team, has it now. The only player for that team here. Sobotka. Back for Kempny. Kempny. Winds that back down to Schmeichel. Kubalik. Schmeichel. Kubalik trying to chip that back. Picked off by Sobotka. Vladimir Sobotka. Back for Cervenka to Sobotka. Kubalik back at the point. Has a look. Walks in. Feeds it across for Kempny. Kubalik. Rink wide, he goes, Cervenka shoots, and Meyer fought that off. Sobotka, and his stick knocked out of his hands. A point shot by Kempny, bouncing puck, Schmeichel couldn't reach it.
Flipped Cervenka in front, left hand.
Kubalik moves to his more accustomed spot on the right side of the formation. There's Sobotka with a shot that goes high. Bounces off the glass down the play, 39 seconds to go in the Czech power play.
Took a little while to develop, but they finally got to the sense they were looking for, and snappy pass across from Kubalik to Cervenka that Meyer has to fight off with his glove. And I do like the fluidity there, because Kubalik didn't stick to his offside. Switzerland was taking him away. They were pushing up high, so they rotated and gave a different kind of look. That worked.
USA has a 1-0 lead on France in the first period, and Tampa and Philly. The United States comes in 5-0.
Their last game of the tournament against Sweden, which will be for first in Group A.
Chernak lays that back to Stalik. Here's Spacek with it. 30 seconds to go in the Czech power play. Lentz. Back for Tomášek. In for Chernak. He was tied up there by Herzog. It's poked down the ice by Haas. Stalik slides that back to Tomášek. Lead pass for Lentz, trying to find Spacek. Tomášek to Stalik. Spacek into the goal mouth. Lentz going to get a shot away. Loose in front. Chernak turned away. Point blank by Meyer as the Swiss penalty expires. 8:35 to go in the opening period. Czechia with a 1-0 lead on Switzerland. go in the first period. Czechia's got a 1-0 lead on Switzerland. It is day 10 of the 2023 World Hockey Championship. Preliminary round wraps up on Tuesday. Quarters are Thursday. Semi Saturday. The bronze and gold medal game on Sunday. Jordan shoots and interference on the face-off, and another Czech penalty, this time to Radan Lentz. Face-off interference.
It's a tough call because this happens every power play. The wingers step in, they set picks, they run interference, but it's every time. So Lentz is trying to get inside position. He's here trying to get out. Gets his stick into the feet. Heischer goes down. It's now the power play for Switzerland.
Yes.
Which has not been too shabby either. Another 28% from the tournament.
5 for 18. Niederreiter and Malgin lead the way with 2 each. The amazing thing about the Swiss is the depth of their scoring. 16 different players have scored goals for them.
Every player has at least 1 point.
So what's the head of the snake? Niederreiter leads them with goals. The Droptek reaches that and sends it down the ice. Heischer winds it across the line, drops it up to Haas. To Löffel. Löffel for Haas. Romain Löffel. Back to Niederreiter. Fiala, back to Löffel, across he goes to Heischer, holds, waits. Löffel to Fiala, shoots, he fired that wide, he could really rip it. Heischer to Löffel, there's Fiala again. Back to Löffel. Heischer. Löffel. Heischer. Back to Löffel, fire, scores! Romain Löffel with a point shot in the power play. The game is tied at 1.
Löffel ever get all of that one. Tees it right up. The 3 guys at the top of the umbrella. It's Fiala, it's Heischer, it's Löffel. They're just trying to look and find and see. And Haas and Niederreiter are the other 2 guys out there. They're never touching the puck, but their motion sets this goal up. As Niederreiter slides one way, Haas going the other way. Longhammer can't see through both. Doesn't pick up the release point off Löffel's stick. And if it's not blocked, it's in the back of the net.
So once again, after falling behind for the 2nd straight game, the Swiss equalize not long after. Jordan back to pick it up. Löffel plays for Zurich in the Swiss League. Made the 2011 World Junior Championship for the Swiss, making his international debut in that tournament. Schmeichel comes across the line, the play is called offside.
Here's one of the challengers against playing versus Switzerland. Czechia has been really good this period, but you make any mistakes and they'll make you pay. They just have so many talented players in every situation that can score goals. Löffel gets this one just high enough, catches a piece of Longhammer's shoulder, but not enough. And it's a pretty thankless job being Niederreiter and Haas there. You're not really, plays aren't run for you. You're there to get cross-checked and screened and retrieve pucks. And they stuck with it long enough to run interference, screen the goaltender for the goal.
Meyer chips that back out. Ambul up for Fiala, picked up by Fleck at center ice. And Chernok was that back down to the Swiss zone. Meyer gloves that one, hang on as Baranek was coming in, and some more pushing and shoving breaks out after the whistle.
Czechia trying to get on the forecheck. Recalibrate after giving up the lead. Generally speaking, it's been a positive start for Czechia.
Shots are 8-5 Czechia here in the period.
There's been very few in any periods. I think maybe the second period against Canada was the only period in this tournament where Switzerland was outplayed considerably. Every other period they've been equal or better. Czechia has probably been the better team so far here in the first.
U.S. is a 3-0 lead on France. Connor Gautier's got a goal and an assist in the first period. The Flyer first-round pick.
What a tournament he's having.
He's been amazing.
To rethink where he wants to play next year. At Boston College, they'll be like, okay, that's it, get him off the power play.
Yeah.
So we don't need him scoring anymore over the World Championship.
In comes Riga, fires. That goes just wide, skips off the glass, another play.
Riga has been in and out of the lineup. 13 forward, 12 forward. He's listed as a 12 forward in today's game. The guy who's been around the national team for a little bit. Went for Lausanne this past year. Another speedy, defensively minded forward, which seems like all the Swiss forwards are.
Marty plays it back. Lawful, a hard shot, and Longhammer was screened again. Laid back in by Miranda. And Jordan around the Kondratek. Turns out the officials are whistling on the fans. It looked like at that point, like Zentner thought he heard a whistle and stopped for a moment.
Kubalik not happy there. He's getting a rough ride from Marty.
Goes in like for Kubalik. Fire short side. Meyer the save. Zahorna flips that loose. Kubalik was alone in front. The pass comes across and he rocketed that high.
You know he's going to be hanging out over there, looking for one-timers.
Roginovic tied up there by Lawful. Sentinel taken down. And bump back, goes Marty back for it. He and Zahorna collide. It's a big body collision behind the goal line. And Marty back with it.
Robert Meyer's got a habit of stepping into the path of the forechecker out of his crease. He's really, really stretching the limit of the arrangement that we don't run into goaltenders.
Navarro goes back, knocks it away from Niederreiter. In comes Spacek. Spacek winding in. Tied up there by Geiser. Tobias Geiser. Up to center ice. Picked up by Kostelek. Being flushed there by Hischier. Had a great year in New Jersey. Career high in goals with 31. Finalist for the Selke Trophy as the top defensive forward in the league. That was still by Niederreiter. The play was offside at the Czech line. 4:17 to go in the first period. A 1-1 tie between Czechia and Switzerland. It's a noisy Arena Riga on this Sunday night, packed with fans from Switzerland and Czechia.
Standing room only, all the way to the top.
Great atmosphere.
They're all out having fun together in the fan zone before the game.
In comes Mulligan with it. Drops it up to Ambul, walks right in, feeds it across, and Fiala the shot, knocked away by Longhammer. Langhammer wearing the colors of Ilves Tempelhof where he plays. And makes a great stop there on Malgin. One of the two teams that plays in Tempelhof. Tempelhof is the other one that won both the Finnish League title and the Champions League this year. The host arena for the other group, the semifinals and the bronze and gold medal games next weekend. Malgin plays it across to Ambul. In comes Ambul, shovels it across to Fiala. Fiala back to Fora, shoots. That was blocked by Zaboral. Kempney got dumped in front by Ambul, didn't like that much. Long shoot in, Myers got it, leaves it back for Fora. Fora. Up ahead for Herzog. Riga reaches for it. Kondratek got tied up in the corner. Squirts free for Herzog. In shoots, and Langhammer makes a great blocker save. Tanner Richard. Works it back across, and Herzog just missed on that. Brought back by Cervenka. Brink wide pass. Kubalik in, fires. Meyer makes the stop, point blank.
He was coming out far. Knew he's had to cut that angle down.
In comes Saboka now, fires. Oh, and Meyer got
save.
just a piece of that.
Oh.
That was the tip of the glove he got on that.
Another juicy turnover by Switzerland right at the Sabotka's stick.
They rarely turn the puck over the first 5 games. There's been a couple out here so far in the first period.
Here goes Kubalik. And look where Meyer ends up when he saves this puck. Way outside, because Kubalik's going right under the bar. Meyer stares him down. There's the turnover. And even a better release, tougher to pick up. It's the cheater again. It's the cheater on the glove. The part that goes from the pocket to the forearm protector. There just to stop pucks.
Yes, serves no other purpose.
Not a lot of safety reasons on that one. What a stop by Meyer. Langhammer, they've both been excellent.
Yes. Marty, long shot. Langhammer was screened there. It went wide. Skirted by Niederreiter. Nino Niederreiter. Back down to Corby. That's picked off. Kostala. Picked off by Niederreiter. Way back to play. Corby got tied up there with Dvorak. Comes back into play as Hischier brings it in. Enzo Corby kicks at that. Mihal Jordan out to center ice. Here's Lenz with it. Across to Dvorak. Up for Zahorna. That pass misfired. Wojciech around to Zahorna. Back to Zaboral. Zahorna. Wojciech feeds it back. Zahorna fanning that shot. Still loose in the slot. Simeon splits it back to Jordan. Zaboral. Back for Jordan. Across he goes. Wojciech. Playoff MVP in the Czech Extra League this year. Wojciech played that back. Now it's wheeled back around to spot check. Minutes ago, in the first period, spot check. Back to Jordan. Down to Lentz. Across to spot check. Schmeichel on it. Back to Zaboral. In for Schmeichel. Back to Zaboral. That shot was off Hazen wide. Spot check. Feeds it back across for Tomaszek. It's picked off and brought back by Miranda. Jordan to Schmeichel. Here's Zaboral being flushed there by Haas. Forces it free back in front. Miranda stopped. Langhammer turns away. Sentler. Two great stops there by Langhammer. Back to the point. Forward drive. Rebound. Miranda had that block. Furious pressured up by the Swiss, but they're turned away. And the teams will go to the dressing room tied at 1 after a wide open and sometimes wild first 20 minutes.
Switzerland was pressing right to the end as Schmeichel brings it back into his own end. Zaboral turns it over. There's Langhammer with one. And how about the patience to shuffle on his knees, but not get caught out of the position as Langhammer up to the challenge through one period.
You're watching the 2023 World Hockey Championship from Riga, Latvia.
Dobrý. Take over. Here you go, JJ. Oh, shit. Go, TP, son. Go,
A 1-1 score here between Switzerland and Czechia after one period of play on this Sunday night in Riga, Latvia. In front of a boisterous crowd, split pretty evenly between Swiss and Czech supporters. Great festival outside in the fan zone. U.S. with a 4-0 lead on France. Tyler Gauthier has scored again.
U.S. runaway freight train right now.
Yeah, wait, red.
Siegenthaler for Niederreiter, chips that back down to the Czech zone. Oh, a little speed wobble by Longhammer. And the puck loose behind the Czech goal, picked up by Hischier. Nico Hischier works his way to the front, shoots. Longhammer save, rebound, bounces back to Hischier. Flip that wide of the goal. Some nervous moments here in the early part of the second. A quick shot by Niederreiter, and Longhammer the save on that.
Right from the first moment, Longhammer tries to go behind the net to pick up the puck. A little cross step, which is never really what you want to do. And the next 20 seconds, he was sort of fighting it up and down, and not quite getting a good, clean touch. But eventually makes the saves he has to make, and you get a sense of why Hischier's so hard to play against. He just low center of gravity, keeps his body moving, and works his way free from the bigger checkers on him.
Flipped by Fora, face-off back down to the Czech zone. Czechs open with a narrow win over Slovakia in their opener. Their only loss in overtime to Latvia. That kind of kick-started Latvia's comeback in this tournament. Latvia still has designs on the quarterfinals. And Latvia will play the Swiss on Tuesday here in Riga. Baranek. Stripped there by Moser. A big collision in the corner there as Baranek stepped into the Swiss defenseman. Ambul. Up ahead for Fora.
Fiala wanted that, just floated into space. You can feel him asking for it.
Now Fiala loose behind the goal, gathers it back up. Fiala back to Lawful, fans of that shot. Goes back to Marty. Lawful has the Swiss goal. Fiala could have fed that through, but it misfired. Malgin picks it up. Dennis Malgin back for Lawful. Ambul tied up. Chernock plays that ahead for Fleck. The always energetic Jakob Fleck sends it down to the Swiss zone. And Meyer for Marty to Miranda. Zaboral took that away from him. Schmeichel moves that out. Schmeichel was wearing a full cage when the tournament started. Took a stick in the face the last practice before the tournament started. Miranda Fiala tries to chip at that. Spot check. Had his pocket picked and a penalty coming now. They blew the whistle when the Czechs had possession. Spot check will go off for the hook.
That up ice pressure. Gaetan Haas, quick stick, pokes it loose. Spacek instinctively reacts by trying to get it back and gets up and under Haas's arm. So it's back to the power play for Switzerland, where they've scored 1 goal already.
It's funny because, you know, you talk about it. Usually within seconds of turning the puck over, you're in the greatest danger of taking a penalty.
Right, you're not in position, you're recovering, you're a little panicky, you're maybe irritated, you had it taken for you. That's the pressure up ice that Switzerland puts on the opponent. It's better than just about everybody in the tournament.
Here's Lawful, who has that power play goal. Works it back down to Hischier. Haas to Hischier.
Last time it was a 3-man game up top.
Right. Hischier with Fiala drifting in. Goes the other way to Niederreiter. Back around to Fiala. Swings that back to Lawful for Fiala. Works in, holds, shoots. He fired it wide. Up the other side, Kondratek rattles it off the glass and down the ice. Fiala winds his way in. Kevin Fiala lays that back, and Lawful holds the line. Back for Niederreiter. Niederreiter banks that back to Lawful. Niederreiter for Haas. Haas back to Lawful. Shoots! That was just wide. Rebound! Fiala just missed on it. Haas plays it across for Hischier. Hischier back to Lawful. Tees it up and shoots. That was blocked by Chernak. Laid back across Hischier. Now to Niederreiter. 40 seconds to go in the power play. Hischier shoots. That goes wide. Bounces by Fiala and back out.
Haas and Baranek were in a vicious battle in the slot to get open and to cover him, swinging sticks at each other.
Kukan lifts that wide. Corby centers a quick chance there for Malgin. Point blank save by Longhammer. Malgin back to Corby. Enzo Corby flips that back up for Ambul. Handed back up by Malgin. Malgin plays that back to Kukan. Malgin. Kukan. Corby back in front, they score! Ambul! Power play goal! 2-1 Switzerland. Came with 1 second left on the power play.
The gap to the veteran leader. Probably gets what it's a quick rotation side to side, and before Sobotka can get back to that high slot player, which is his, a nice feed from Corby, and it happens so quickly. Ambul doesn't need to shoot it hard. He just needs to scrape it high to the far side, and it's a nice quick rotation as they're grabbing that puck, as it's a milestone puck. Andres Ambul still smiling, still going strong. To his second decade of playing for the national team. And Switzerland on the power of 2 power play goals. Listed 1 second after expired is listed as Gord, so that's an even strength goal.
Oh, okay.
Pluses for everybody.
Dribbles down to Longhammer, steers that away. Ambul, the oldest player in the tournament at age 39. Ambul playing his 129th career World Championship game. Cervenka. And the battle continues in the stands, but they try to drown each other out.
That is one where there will be no winner.
That goes back, icy call against Switzerland.
No one will concede defeat here, as two near power play goals. There's one by Lawful, one-timer, and then that's a quick rotation. Around the horn, in flow, pucks on the tape, and a good finish by Ambul. That's water he's wasting just to be sure.
Wouldn't be a beer.
No. Andreas Ambul, coming up on 40 years old. Still out there, still in the power play, still contributing.
Scored his first goal at the World Championship, as that's backhanded wide by Chernak in April of 2004, nearly 7,000 days ago.
Still years left in my NHL career.
His 18th World Championship, that's a record. 129th game, that's a record. Broke the mark last year. Like shoots, that goes high. He's a beloved figure in Switzerland.
I like him because he's out here at 39, and he's not a pacifist out there. He's not trying to skate around and no one bump in. He's chippy and
he's not a mascot either. He's a contributing player.
Out there on the power play, he's doing something right.
What he would love to get, what is alluded to every Swiss player, would be a gold medal here. They've had some close calls. 2013, a perfect record going into the gold medal game in Stockholm against the Swedes, but they lost that. 2018, a gold medal game loss again.
They definitely have, they're one of the 5 or 6 teams that could win it this year.
His first goal, by the way, scored on Cristobal Ue. As Kukan shoots,
that was right in his face.
That knocked down Corby. Ue, one of the IIHF Hall of Fame inductees this year.
Cristobal? Very nice. Good teammate of mine in Montreal.
Taller up for Ambul, sends that in. One back by Zahorna, along with Lentz. And Zahorna with the long shot, fired. Stretches out and makes the glove save. 12:49 to go in the second period. Switzerland's grabbed a 2-1 lead. Taste of the raucous atmosphere here in Riga. Draw picked up. Vojilin comes around, and Vojilin turned away there on the wraparound try. Zahorna back to Jordan. Crossing goes to Dvorak, shoots, and looks that high. to play it. It's picked off by Lentz. In comes Lentz. Shoots from a sharp angle at the side of the goal.
Janelic just dragged Meyer behind the net, and then he just butt-ended Moser in the face to the goaltender. He's a wanderer out there.
Yeah. That was by Jordan. Nicely called against the Swiss.
Robert Meyer's been out swimming a few different times in this game. Sometimes out of his own accord, other times not so much. But generally speaking, he's made the big saves when he's had to. Sometimes it looks like he's reaching and stretching for it. Not the biggest guy in there, but can't argue with his numbers from Geneva this year. 17 and 5 during the regular season. I'd be surprised to find out that I didn't like when the goaltender got in our way when we were trying to get on the forecheck.
Yeah, I can see that. I'm getting that strong sense from you. You hide it very well.
Marty Turco living rent-free still.
His goalie coach Andy Moog once said he's a great player. Just got to decide what position he wants to play.
And Meyer's doing a bit of that where he's going out there knowing you're not going to bump into him because you can't. And then he's making you take long routes around the net, playing pucks and everything else. So that's what Marty Turco did so well. Meyer doing a little bit of it as well.
A native of Davos, who's the longtime captain of HC Davos, the annual host of the Spengler Cup tournament.
He's been moved up to play on the second line now with Malgin and Fiala. Two speedsters.
Well, before he sure got here, Malgin was kind of driving the bus for Switzerland offensively.
Playing in the middle. Then he moved to the wing. Now he's back at center.
And here's Malgin with it. Get it back to Ambul. Malgin pivots back. Malgin slides that back to Fiala. Fiala shoots, loose puck, they score! It's Ambul on the tip! And it's 3-1 Switzerland.
Still got it. He's still got it. Go to the front of the net, stick on the ice. Malgin makes all of this happen with all his work. Right here, he steps on the puck, sorts it out, gets it to Fiala. And Sobotka is playing the passing lane. He loses track of how tight to the net Ambul is, and that's a rolling wrister of a pass that is deftly tipped just slowly through Longhammer's legs.
Third of the tournament for Ambul, who's got 2 here tonight. Siegenthaler moves ahead. Veronica races him in the sideboards. Now Kukai. Up for Corby. As Switzerland takes control here in the second period, out shooting Czechia 6-2 and scoring twice.
They're just efficient. They got a lot of skill, and they make the plays to get to the dangerous spots for their chances. They have the skill to get there.
And coming back in the third period on them next to impossible. They've allowed just 20 shots in the third period in 5 games.
That's ridiculous.
Marty, rink wide pass, got away from Hischier. And Zaboro back with it. The mid-tournament additions of Hischier, Fiala, and Siegenthaler further strengthen the Swiss lineup. Spot check. Gonna feed that back in front. Hischier with it. Knocked back away by Schmeichel. And away comes Settler. Got Miranda with him. Shoots him. Hooked that wide. Miranda. Back around to Lawful. Rossi goes to Geiser. Geiser for Settler. Settler. For Haas. Eitan Haas. Backhand back to Settler. Miranda. Nicer back across with a hard shot by Lawful, kicked out by Longhammer. Switzerland's won 3 of the last 4 meetings between these two countries.
Switzerland's evening that career record out against a lot of these top teams.
Right. Herzog in, shoots, and Longhammer makes the save. The Swiss lead. 9:04 to go here in the second. Ambul has scored twice here in the second period, giving Switzerland a 3-1 lead on Czechia. Swiss come in at 5-0. The Czechs are 4-0-1.
Challenge for the Czechs trying to come back. Switzerland has given up 4 goals in the tournament. They're going to need 4 goals in the game,
right,
to win it.
They've always been good defensively. They've always had pretty good goaltending.
Right.
They've always been able to defend. What they lacked in past years and past decades was high-end finish, and now you're finding that with the Swiss. Siegenthaler plays it across. Kukan shoots, kicked up by Longhammer. Switzerland boasts one of the NHL's top defensemen, Roman Josi. 13 Swiss skaters played in the NHL this year, plus goaltender Kira Schmidt. Fiala's a former 30-goal scorer. Niederreiter's a consistent 20-goal guy.
Timo Meier.
Yeah, he sure big year this year. Another big year for Meier. Kukan trying to work that free. Swiss League bumped up its import quotient from 4 to 6 this year, but trying to stay competitive with other European teams in the Champions League. Kondratek. Lead pass at Chervenka, brought in by Kubalik, winds and shoots. That was blocked by Niederreiter. Lifts it ahead for Hischier, getting it on Kondratek. Hischier and stopped by Longhammer.
Tried to slip it 5-0. He got all the way there. Looked like Kondratek had the angle, but he did not have it. Speedy. You don't think of Nico Hischier as being fast. I don't want to rethink that.
The Kondratek does now.
Yeah, exactly right. Until you try to catch him.
You don't think of him as being overly big either, but he's pretty solid. Skates through Kempney there. Seven and a half remaining here in the second period. Czechia plays Canada on Tuesday. That's the day Switzerland will play Latvia. As Fiala works in and rolls down to Longhammer, and he quickly grabs that.
Nico Hischier going defense to offense, shot blocks. Niederreiter chips it up, and at this point, Kondratek has the angle. But then Hischier gets underneath and all the way clean across as Longhammer keeps the stick locked on the 5-hole. Taking another good chance away from the swift Nico Hischier. I almost like the idea of Fiala and Hischier on different lines. Hischier, kind of like straight ahead hockey, even though he's incredibly talented. It's simpler. Whereas Fiala is the creativity is almost wasted with Hischier because Hischier is so fundamentally sound.
Ambul got it behind the net.
And going forward, you might want Hischier playing against the other team's best lines.
Right.
And maybe that's where you don't want to have Kevin Fiala. You want him attacking in more offensive situations.
Ambul with 2 goals in the game. He's older than any skater in the NHL. Mark Giordano is 19 days younger than him. Craig Anderson is the oldest player in the NHL. Turned 42 today, actually. Brought back by Zamora. Flips it across to Baranek. Baranek in the high slot. Flex shoots. Meyer makes the save. Bouncing puck. And Markey sends it down. A rare foray by the Czechs here in the second period. Meyer with a rolling puck. Leaves it there to Marty.
Tomaszek's arguing, why is that offside? It's because the guys who were going on the bench were still on the ice, not that he had tagged up. It's that the door to the forward end is inside the blue line and guys were hanging out, getting off the ice.
6 to go in the second period. Gaetan Haas flips that across. Spacek block skates here with Siegenthaler. Siegenthaler retreats as Tomaszek threads on ahead, and Schmeichel couldn't reach it. Siegenthaler has some of the best underlying defensive numbers in the NHL. He's fit like a glove in New Jersey since they got him from Washington, hasn't he?
Lefty to Dougie Hamilton's righty, and they've been regular season dominant as a partnership.
Tanner Richards slides that back to Geiser. Back for Siegenthaler, long shot deflected, and Longhammer swept that away. Richard back for Geiser. Geiser for Siegenthaler. No, shot wide by
the post. I think that hit the post.
Ticked the outside of the post, didn't it? Yeah. Richard. Gathers up the rolling puck, crisscrossing with Riyad. Moser back across to Siegenthaler for Riyad, shoots, Longhammer save, rebound, Richard turned away by Longhammer. And the puck flipped back down to the Swiss zone. Fora, former Kamloops Blazer, up for Nino Niederreiter. Kamloops, the host city for the upcoming Memorial Cup tournament.
Seattle Thunderbird just punched their ticket.
Did they ever?
Dominance.
16-3 through the Western Hockey League playoffs. Thomas Milic, the medal-winning goalie for Canada.
How's his year going?
Yeah, he was the playoff MVP. Kempney sees up and shoots, kicked up by Fire. Snapped out the left pad to make that stop. Niederreiter, up into Fora. Moser fires that down. Kempney. The team's changing, snaps out for Cervenka. He's on a quiet second period with these top Czech offensive players. Kubalik took down Marty. And Malgin. Ambul back across to Fiala. Fiala drops it back to Marty. Trying to throw that back in front. Kostalik blocked that. And here is Dominic Kubalik. Moving in. A long shot tipped wide by Cervenka, the Czech goal scorer in this game. That was a gift turnover by the Swiss that led to that goal. And behind the play, Fiala and Cervenka are wrapped up. They finally make their way to the bench. Siegenthaler sends it back down, icing called against the Swiss.
Good chance here by Sentler. Head up, high slot wrister. That's clean off the post.
Yeah.
Longhammer couldn't quite find it. But the Czech do jump. They've had a couple looks in the last few minutes, including this one in front of Fleck. Deflected off Lawful's legs to make the save a little bit more difficult. He goes flying off the ice. He does everything fast. Good change.
Meyer got caught on his net, bounces back in front. Durant couldn't reach it. And once again, Meyer gets to wandering and almost cost the Swiss. 3-1, Switzerland leads here in the second. There are a lot of Swiss fans staying at our hotel. I hope that guy's not one of them.
It's quite a workout to try to get through in a game.
You want more cowbell, that's about as much as you can get.
It doesn't look like it's light.
The sights and sounds of the World Hockey Championship. Next year in Prague and Ostrava in Czechia. All kinds of considerations there. The Ostrava portion played in the far eastern end of the country. As Central moves in. Drops that back. Poland coming up next year. For a shoot. Goes off Longhammer High. And Ostrava is about 45 minutes from the Polish border. Brought in now by Corby. Enzo Corby works in. Backhand shot. Longhammer the save. And the 2026 Switzerland will host Zurich and Freiburg. Enzo Corby winds in, plays it across. That pass missed Geiser.
Good to see that Switzerland team at home. Generally speaking, NHL players will be more inclined to go back and play in their home country.
Right.
Chance to play in Switzerland, in Finland. Next year, Czech team should be really strong.
Right.
With every available player wanting to come play. See what that Switzerland team might have to offer. As Meyer, you're right, almost creates his own demise. Scrambles back. How about Kukan, though? Picks the first one out of the air to help out his goaltender on the slide. Sporadic might have tapped that in.
That's center ice. Zahorna trying to chip that ahead. Wojciech comes in. Shovels that back in front. Zahorna couldn't get a shot away. Lentz. Wojciech. That went up in the face of Niederreiter. Dvorak walks in and shoots, and a glove save by Meyer. He hangs on. A late bump there, it looked like. Meyer's got it.
Somehow made the glove save and had it drop between his legs. As Niederreiter takes a puck deflected off his own stick up into the face. Feel very good. Looks like he's okay now. His glove save, he's gonna catch it. No, it's gonna fall, and he tracks it down in between his legs for the whistle. This fourth line for Czechia has been good.
Yeah.
Zahorna has been as effective as any player they have out there in his first game for Czechia.
His first major international tournament for them. He's 27-year-old. Signs a free agent by Pittsburgh in 2020. Moved on to Calgary on waivers.
I watch him here. I saw him play around Toronto. And you're surprised the production doesn't match what you think it looks like he could do.
Nemechek shoots, that's blocked by Malgin.
He just doesn't score well.
Hard to score in that league. Well, Dennis Malgin has got the puck now, I can tell you about that. He's a very productive guy. Now to play back across. Fiala with a chance. Longhammer dove across at that. Morgan finally kind of got his feet under him this year with Colorado. Scored 11 goals in 42 games of them after going over from Toronto.
He likely will have a role there in their top 6 next year as well.
Well, that's probably the issue, right? Is that he has to play in your top 6.
Classic tweener.
Right. So if he's playing on the 3rd or 4th line,
Dennis Morgan's not going to be better defensively than some of the guys you might have in those roles. He's way better offensively, so he has to play with the top 6 guys. But then the question becomes, is he better than the top 6 guys in the NHL?
Right.
And that's, depending on the team, not always the case.
He was drafted by Florida in 2015, spent 3 years with them, and then went back to Europe for 3, came back over.
Earned a spot in the top 6 for the Leafs to start the season.
Yes.
Couldn't make it stay. Eventually ended up in Colorado. But a guy who can play center and wing, so he's just versatility there. He's not too bad defensively. And then you can also move up your lineup for sure.
Morgan wins that face-off back to Kukan. In for Fiala. Kevin Fiala for Morgan, shoots, and he hammered that wide. He does love to shoot it. Fiala shoots, that bounces wide on the other side. Morgan in, a backhand shot. Longhammer makes the save.
It's a good fake by Morgan. He's going to hit the one-timer off the carom on the back wall and then pull it to the middle. As he's just happy to see someone eye to eye as him and Jakob Fleck stare each other down. Now that you've seen it, you can't get the big paddle he uses.
It's amazing how wide that stick plate is.
Massive stick on Morgan.
Pavel Datsyuk, Timo Solani.
Mike Johnson, not as good as those guys, but equally as big a blade.
What's the downside to it?
You lose a little feel sometimes, the taller it gets. You know, like trying to stick out of a goalie stick. At some point, it's a point of diminishing returns.
Niederreiter shoots from a sharp angle. That's knocked away as time winds down here in the period. And this period belonged to the veteran, 39-year-old Andres Ambul. Scores twice and takes Switzerland to a 3-1 lead through 40 minutes here in the 2023 World Hockey Championship.
we go, gentlemen. Work hard. See you in 20. I'm on the boards.
Kumalik and Czechia find themselves down 3-1 to Switzerland after 2 periods of play. American Longhammers allowed 3 goals on 24 shots. And once again, the Swiss have been very stingy. Robert Meyer was allowed just 1 goal in 2 starts coming in. 1 goal on 17 shots here. Andres Ambul, by the way, with 2 goals in that period for Switzerland, has set a new national team record for points in all competitions.
That's what the puck retrieval was for.
So that's more just the World Championship than the Olympics and other tournaments they play in. And the national team is much more of a tradition in Europe than it would be in North America. There are annual international breaks that are taken. There are tournaments that are held every year.
Canada used to have a national team until the NHLers started going to the Olympics. They would play in the World Championships and the Olympics and the Asbestia, it was called back then, and these different tournaments throughout the year.
Cup. Niederreiter chips that back in. So Switzerland comes in with 15 points, a perfect 5-0 record.
Any win in this game for Switzerland, they lock up first.
Right, that's
regulation or overtime. It is theirs, so they're in a good spot to finish first, likely, very likely play Germany on a crossover.
Top 4 teams in each group advance to the quarterfinals. It's a crossover format. One plays 4 from the other division, 2, 3, etc. Normally, the top 2 teams stay where they are. The bottom teams come to them, but there's an exception. If a host team qualifies, they play at home no matter what. Fleck sends it back in front, that's tipped wide. So, in the case of Finland and Latvia, if they qualify, they will play where they are. Baranik's shot goes off a leg and back out.
And Finland is going to qualify third. So the second seeded team in this group, which will likely be Czechia or Canada, will have to travel for the quarterfinal.
Now, not as big a deal because you're going there anyway if you win.
Problem is, if Latvia comes fourth, then you'll have whoever wins that other group coming here for a quarter, then flying back to Tampere for the semifinal. That's your reward for finishing first, which is less than ideal, but I guess it's a problem worth. Your problem to have means you finish first, and you'll be playing really the easiest opponent on the other side.
Not a long flight. Next year, the host cities are Prague and Ostrava, so Czechia would be the only team that would be subject to that exclusion. Haas fires that down. Longhammer steers that away. Up back to Lawful. To Simeon. Haas bumps that back. Lenz plays it across to Jordan. Michal Jordan for Zahorna. Taken out of center ice by Miranda. Play continues. It was actually Herzog who took him down. And Nemecek lifts that down to the Swiss zone. They're going to call that icing. It was from 4 inches behind center ice, but the goaltender played it. Ojanilla trying to find the loose puck. It does, and backhands that back down to the Swiss zone. 2013, Switzerland went 9-0 through the semifinals of the World Championship. Lost to Sweden in the gold medal game. This is a very impressive team they've got going here. Siegenthaler. And is that a Longhammer in a collision there with Niederreiter? The Czechs want a word with him.
They were just going to calls. Sean McFarland of the U.S. was calling just a crease violation, not a penalty. Niederreiter driving the net. You know what? That could be goalie interference because he went in there on his own. He wasn't really shoved particularly hard until the last minute, but he was on a path that was going to take him into Longhammer no matter what.
Right.
And that's the forwards or the attacking player's responsibility to take a path that you can make sure if no one touches you, you won't touch the goalie. He probably would have contacted goaltender no matter what. Niederreiter is not a dirty, he's a physical player, but he's not a dirty player, so maybe he gets the benefit of the doubt.
Scored one of the biggest goals in Swiss junior hockey history. Overtime winner in the quarterfinals in Saskatoon in 2010 to knock Russia out. A deflected puck that went in and took a year to get the goal properly credited to him.
And Gord Miller's personal campaign to get the correct result.
Well, back then, once it was inputted, it was almost impossible to change it. It was crazy. That long shot goes on. I thought you'd appreciate the fact that I fought for that.
I 100% do, because now Nino Niederreiter is in the books as scoring that big goal, which he deserves to be recognized for. I'm sure he appreciates your work, as do I.
In comes Trebeka, shoots. That was blocked by Fora. Meyer out to play it. You almost wonder if he gets bored back there sometimes.
Well, he helps his defense out. He's got himself in some trouble, but a lot of touches mean moments where his defense is not in the corner, picking pucks off the back wall, getting hit, giving them a better chance to get out of their own end.
Fiala moves in, just dumped Kostelic. Kostelic moves it back out, a race for it. Baranek got held up there by Marty. Czech fans whistling about that. Here's Marty. Throws it back in front. Knocked out by Lawful. Pass across. Schmeichel has it taken away by Simeon. Miranda plays it up ahead. And Jordan swings up for the loose puck. Simeon bangs that back down to the Czech zone. Eitan Haas. Knocked out by Jordan. Here's Zahorna with it. Thomas Dvorak. Playing for the Czech national team for the first time since the 2012 under-18s. 11 years ago. He spent his entire career in Czechia since then.
Figure after a decade, you're kind of, they've lost your number.
Yeah. Ojanilla Squeezed there by Fora. Down goes Vojanilek. Now Vojanilek shoots. He put that wide.
Rare shift for Martin Kaut, who has been the 13th forward for Czechia this game.
Dvorak. Long shot kicked away by Riat. And back it goes to center ice. Kubalik moves in. Dominic Kubalik banks it back around for Cervenka. Kubalik moves away from Moser. Zaboral jumps up for Cervenka. And the Czechs find a way to get within one here. So hard to break through on the Swiss. Czechia does not have a shot in the third period. Here comes Kubalik with a chance, shoots, saved by Meyer, rebound, and Meyer makes a stop on that. Kubalik gets the first 2 good looks of this third period. There was a chance.
With the right guy shooting it, tournament leader, 7 goals. Kubalik looking to add to it. First shot was good, second save was spectacular.
Romain Loeffel with it. Geiser. Lead pass from Malgin. Erased by Kempny. And Moranek back for it. Out by Siegenthaler. Laid back in and out. Loose puck goes to Chernak. Gates away from Fiala. Lifts that down to the Swiss zone. Geiser goes back. Flex stepped into him. Fiala in stride, moves ahead. Ring wide, he goes for Ambul. Coming in for the hat trick. Ambul peels back. Drops it off to Malgin. Then it's Malgin. For Fiala. And Kukan fires it in. Ambul, side of the goal. Put that right through the crease. Chernak plays it back around. And Dvorak with it. Schmeichel winds it back across for Lentz. Here's Schmeichel. Up for Zahorna. Zahorna moves in. And Fora knocks that up and knocked down by Zaboral. Plays it across for Lentz. In the corner he goes. And the pass skipped away from Zahorna. Giannis Moser on it, the Arizona Coyotes defenseman. Up ahead for Settler. Plays for EV Zug in the Swiss League. He went back-to-back titles before this year when Geneva finally won it. One of those was a 3-0 comeback of the championship series. Riat plays that back. Loeffel fires. Blocked in front. Rebound. Marty turned away by Longhammer. 10:23 to go in the third period. Czechia trails by 2. Love those Czech flags. Have the hometowns and the town of origin on them. They're all over the arena here. Cities big and small represented here by boisterous Czech fans. Swiss do the same as Kubalik works in. You got to think that next weekend, if the Swiss are there, there'll be more flights coming into Tampere from Zurich and elsewhere. I don't know if I've ever seen a wave go counterclockwise before. I don't know, maybe they have, I just didn't notice, but
Maybe in Australia.
it's always funny to me when you go to a practice for an NHL team, they always come out and skate the same way. They
Yes.
always go counterclockwise.
Yes.
Every team goes counterclockwise. I guess because the right over left crossover is easier, I don't know, but they just always go that way. I always thought if the first guy went the other way, no one would know what to do.
No.
It'd just be chaos.
He'll be running into each other left and right. I don't think it's a crossover thing. It's just...
It's always been done that way.
That's right, which is a terrible answer for anything.
Right, but why is there a morning skate? Because there's always been one.
Well, there's probably some reasons back in the 70s why you might want guys to get a sweat on in the morning. And also, did not the Russians do it when they first came over?
Yes.
Figured they were onto something because they were so good.
Malgin across the line, that's offside. At the Czech line, and Malgin gets into it there.
He's gonna get the extra, or at least one.
Right away, the referee, Mikko Kokokori, pointed at him.
Probably should get both, but they might just get the retaliation.
3-1, Switzerland leads. Malgin gets 2 for roughing, so Czechia gets a power play here with 8:45 to go in the third period. The Czechs have been very proficient on the power play.
So that little forearm shiver to the shoulder from Chernak started, it was after the whistle, but the double-fisted pop to the chin from Malgin gets him the penalty.
Just the 12th time that Switzerland has been short-handed in 6 games.
And that was that's a pretty undisciplined play by Malgin in a 2-goal game.
Kentney for Cerveka back across. Kubalik shoots. That's gloved by Meyer. Little windmill stop there.
A little mustard on that one. Robert Meyer. As Kubalik has been testing Meyer throughout this game. 5-6 shots on net. Didn't quite get that one high enough. Right under the bar to challenge Meyer. He still has the Geneva helmet on, not the a Swiss specific.
Goalie mask. Well, Meyer has played 3 World Championships before. Spent 2 years in the Quebec League with St. John, 5 years in Hamilton in the American League. Face-off wasn't done fairly as Kukan was skating away.
That was a foot win now. Richard's trying to say, I didn't even mean to, it just hit my foot, but he absolutely scraped it back.
Richard, number 2 in the tournament face-offs at 65%. Up against Sabotka, who's also been excellent on the draw. And Richard wins that draw. Kukan fires it by Kentney and back down the ice. So a key moment in the game here for the Czechs. Chance to climb back in this thing. The shots are 3-2 Czechia in the third. Saboka flips that across to Kubalik. In comes Dominic Kubalik, fires that around. Schmeichel waiting for it. Cervenka chops at that. Saboka trying to pull that free and does. 8 to go in the third period. Here's Kubalik. 5 power play goals in the tournament. Schmeichel banks that back to Kempny. Cervenka back across. Kubalik shoots, scores! Dominic Kubalik, another power play goal. Czechia is back in it, down by 1.
That's how you get it under the bar. Dominic Kubalik takes advantage of a bad penalty by Dennis Malgin and a rare mistake. Watch Haas and Richard. They're both charging Kempny. There is no one low. There is no one on the weak side. Simple pass from Cervenka. Nobody around it. And Kubalik doesn't even catch all of it. He just makes sure to get it under the bar. Nice dummy play from Saboka in the high slot to let it go all the way through. And Kubalik with his 6th power play goal of the tournament.
Ties the record for a single tournament. Patrick Elias in 2008, Niko Kapanen of Finland in 2009, Jarkko Immonen of Finland in 2011, and Patrick Kane in 2018. All scored 6 power play goals in one tournament, now joined by Kubalik. Swimens, and a disciplined penalty by Malgin, and now Czechia is a shot away from tying it. Stalik long shot, rebound, loose in front. Zohorna reaching for it. And the Czechs energized now. In comes Corby, trying to thread that ahead. Chipped in by Baranek. Underplayed as Meyer, got bottled up there. There's Chermak on the way of that clearing attempt. Baranek with a chance. Knocked down by Ambul. Sintler brings it back now for Switzerland. Longhammer knocked that away. Ambul picks it back up.
Of note, Malgin missing this shift. This should be his group out there. He's rested. And it's Sintler taking his spot in the middle. Bad penalty. Repercussions.
Fiala swings that back to Lawful. Here is Fiala with it. Patrick Fischer coaching in his 7th World Championship as the head man for Switzerland, also coaching the 2018 and 2022 Olympic Games. Jordan up for Zaboral. Baranek tied up by Siegenthaler. 6 to go here in the third period. Martin Havlat, the Czech GM, is sitting just across the aisle from us.
He's not sitting anymore.
Yeah, he's looking kind of glum there for 2 periods, and all of a sudden now, he, like his team and these fans, are up and liking their chances. Kukan puts that back in. Kondratek up for Kaut. Kaut works in. Still on it. Vojinovic was calling for the puck earlier. Now Dvorak plays it back in. Spacek for Vojinovic. Tied up there by Siegenthaler. Stalik jumped up to knock that ahead. Vojinovic lost his stick, and now Siegenthaler has the loose puck. 5 to go in the third period. Kubalik works it free. Here he comes. Shoots. Meyer save. Rebound. Vojinovic couldn't reach it. Now played back down to the Czech zone. The Czechia will try to do what no one's done in this tournament yet. Score 3 in a game on the Swiss. Longhammer leaves it there for Dvorak. And think about those saves that Longhammer made earlier. Riak plays it back, slapped across. Richard shoots, scores! Tanner Richard restores the 2-goal lead. the 17th different Swiss player to score a goal in the tournament.
Big save by Meyer at one end. He's getting a point from Richard. Well done, he says, as Meyer stares down Kubalik. And then on the same shift, this is just a beautiful touch right here from Moser. Oh yeah, sell the slapper. Longhammer has to respect it. He goes down and Moser slips it over. And great awareness by Moser to Richard, and he makes no mistake, up and under the bar to restore the 2-goal advantage. Czechia had their push. 3-4 minutes there. They had their guy that you want in alone, basically, against Meyer with Kubalik.
Yeah.
He makes the save. They compose themselves and are able to get the goal to restore the 2-goal advantage.
And these fan bases who express themselves by hopping, it's Hop Swiss, and the Czechs chant, if you're not hopping, you're not Czech. Well, it's the Swiss fans are up and hopping now. Laid across by Hischier. Niederreiter trying to flip that back in front. Marty back across to Loeffel, who has a goal for Switzerland in this game. Niederreiter tied up. Horna for Lentz. Marty chops it down. Win of any kind for Switzerland, clinches first place in Group B.
A loss by Czechia sets up whoever wins Canada-Czechia takes second, loser takes third, very likely.
Race there by 4 up.
And I'm looking at the Swiss bench. Dennis Malgin is sitting all the way on the right, closest to the red line. By himself, he's not moved. He's not going on the ice again.
A strong message.
One of your top players.
Yeah.
But listen, you want accountability. You got to keep it even for everybody.
Right.
And it was a bad penalty, very undisciplined, and it could have cost them. Send that message now. Maybe no one takes that secondary pop in the face a week from now when they're playing for a gold medal.
Dvorak brings it back with 2.5 to go here in the third period. Swiss allowed the first goal for the second consecutive game. And now the goaltender Longhammer goes to the bench for the extra skater. So the net is empty, 6 skaters on 5 for Czechia. That third goal against the Swiss has proved elusive. And now Haas moves in, empty net, hit the side of the goal. Schmeichel brings it back in. Switzerland trying to go 6-0 to start the tournament. Last year, 6-0-1 was their record through regulation. Then lost the quarterfinal game to the U.S.
They would really expect to get to the semifinals this year.
At the very least. Moser fired that wide to the empty net. Kempney for Baranek, moves around Niederreiter, but Niederreiter disrupted him enough. To Stalag. Wojciech feeds that down to Flat. And there's a minute left now in the third period. Niederreiter empty net, misses that out the other side. Niederreiter right back on it.
This is the problem, guys.
Where's Ambul?
You're trying to pass the puck into the empty net. Just shoot it like you're trying to score. You would never miss the net from the blue line trying to score if you just shot it. It's when you try to place it in there, kind of finesse it in there. Just shoot it. Or pass it to Ambul. Where is he?
Yeah.
Come on, Patrick Fisher. Where's your sense? Flair for the drama.
On the day that Ambul set the record, he's up at the bench waiting to come on.
Get off the ice, Enzo Corby. Get off the ice.
Navarro chips it ahead. Chervenko to Chervenka. Waffle on it. And the Swiss improve their record to 6-0 with a 4-2 win over Czechia. Switzerland clinches first place in Group B.
That's a good game by both teams. Switzerland pushed and tested. But once again, come through with a solid win. Never really in that much doubt.
The shots in the third were 5-3 Czechia. So
that's how you shut it down.
Through 6 games,
no.
The Swiss have allowed 25 third period shots total.
They're getting up 4 shots a period. While leading, when score effect should kick in, they should be sitting back. The other team should be pushing. Well, they look to be, so far, the best team of Group B.
Meyer gets the win. He's 3-0. And we will now get the player of the game presentations and then the Swiss national anthem, the Swiss song. Patrick Fischer was a player for the Swiss national team. They were life and death to stay in the top group of the World Championship. Now they're a strong gold medal contender.
Ambul, Kubalik.
Sure, Ambul for sure.
Ambul, 100%.
He set the record for national team points.
Number 6,
Michael Kempney. He's been good all tournament long.
Yeah.
This might be a tournament-wide selection.
These are selected by the team management, so
to recognize he's been very good.
the best player of the Switzerland. Number 10.
Even the Swiss players like that selection.
yeah.
He's played 130 games. I wonder how many of those plaques he's got kicking around at home.
Dāmas un kungi, lūdzu visi, kur var piecelieties, lai godinātu Šveices valsts himnu.
a hard-fought game for your team here today. What was the difference in this very close loss?
It's hard to say right now, but we were sleeping in the second period a little bit, and we gave them 2 PPs. They scored twice and 30 game in the second, and then we were chasing in the third, get the 1 goal, but yeah, it is what it is.
Based on your experience with your team, you have plenty. Does this team have what it takes in the quarterfinals and to move on through the elimination rounds?
Yeah, we have to prepare for the last game in the group. We have a tough opponent, Canada. I think it's we have to prepare well for a quarterfinal, and yeah, we're looking forward, and we have to learn from this also.
What will you learn from it?
Yeah, and then I don't know. I don't know if we had to do the penalty, the PK. We had I think 2 PPs. We scored 1 goal. So we can also improve there. We'll see. We have to check the video, and as I said, it's hard to say right now.
And then in Czech, just your thoughts on the game.
Vyrovnaný zápas. Švýcaři byli lepší ve druhé třetině, kde otočili zápas a ve třetí už jsme to jenom doháněli.
And just so now the all-time points leader for anyone who has ever worn a Swiss jersey. What does that mean to you to be able to do that here in front of all of these fans?
Oh, of course, it's pretty special, and with all the people here supporting us and me, makes it even more special. But I'm really happy about those 3 points tonight.
Absolutely. What are some of your fondest memories donning this jersey at this tournament?
There are a few, like. No, of course, the silver medal, that's what pops up first. But I had so many great experiences, and yeah, hopefully there are some coming.
Over 6 games, your team has only allowed 25 shots in the third period. What do you guys do in the third to shut things down?
Oh, I think the whole team works together, like everybody is playing defensive, not just offense. And yeah, I think those numbers speak for itself then.
Your thoughts on today's win and how your team performed?
Ja, ich glaube, es war eine gute Teamleistung. Wir haben im ersten Drittel noch nicht so gut gespielt, wie wir wollen, aber ich glaube, im zweiten und dritten haben wir nachher wieder besser zu unserem Spiel zurückgefunden und ich glaube auch verdient am Schluss gewonnen. Thank you.
Goed in de season, dus eigenlijk rennen we lopen misschien. En ik wil niet eens kijken, mijn ogen die zien is er niet genoeg dat ik koop op het team. I got 5 on my name, got no start. To me, just to see all the shoots. They said that I couldn't do it, so I wouldn't do it. W's on it, you know I've been. Top of the world, it goes. Welcome to the winner's circle. If you made it here, it means you done put in the work, dude. Congratulations. You made it way back to basics. This goes for a massive celebration. Welcome to the winner's circle. Made news, saved dues, changed views, all over one debut. I done trained crews of great youth, raised them to fame too, still remain true to the game roots. Say thank you. For staying dope enough for what I say to matter. For saying what you supposed to hear from the bank of rap. For not quitting when the haters laughed and laid trap for us. Not shady, but that's who's back is us, bruh. no cap, lost the nation. But now the throwback and the throwback to the future. A Michael J with a fox, if you so bad. I tell her welcome to the
Riga